Welcome back to the next episode of the Classic Gent. On today's episode, we are going to be exploring the meaning of the word or the classic idea of what a cocktail is, and also enjoying this classic cocktail. Hopefully you can guess it. If not, stay tuned and we'll explain how to make it and its origins. Okay, welcome back to episode 5 of the Classic Gent. Obviously, if you're still here with us or if you're just joining us, I think you have an idea that we make classic cocktails. So, we're going to make a very classic cocktail, one that was mentioned in a previous episode and was requested by Brenda Granados. So she commented on one of the videos, and I encourage you to do the same. If you get a chance, comment and make a request. We would love to hear from you. But today we're going to explain to you something about cocktails in general. But 1806, in articles in the Federalist, there's 2 articles in the Federalist newspaper from Hudson, New York. That newspaper is called The Balance and Columbian Repository. 2 articles, they were mentioning the first use, or publicized the first use of the word cocktail. Basically, they said it required 4 main components. There's going to be spirits, water, sugar, and bitters. I think if you get an idea of where we're going with this, it kind of pretty much makes up exactly the old fashioned. Fast forward 1862, you have Jerry Thomas wrote a book. It's called The Bartender's Guide on How to Mix Drinks. He published his first recipe of his version of the old-fashioned cocktail. All the same ingredients, right? A cube of sugar, muddle it with some water, mix it up, a jigger of bourbon. In this case though, in the original version, he said a jigger of gin. Holland gin to be exact. I didn't try it. Maybe we will in the future. I think this was a good segue to switch over from gin drinks to whiskey drinks. So I hope you enjoy that we decided to switch that. In 1880, in Louisville, Kentucky, a private social club called Pendennis Club was where they had the first old-fashioned. Someone, I think, if you enjoy bourbon and you enjoy cocktails and classic bartenders, you understand the name James E. Pepper. After he invented it at the private club, the Pendennis Club in Louisville, he brought it to the Waldorf Hotel Bar in New York. One thing I like to mention is in one particular article I read, Pepper is actually called a bourbon aristocrat, and I think that's the most amazing term I could ever hear. I'll tell you why, because we got a brand new bottle of Smoke Wagon here. It was brand new as of yesterday, so as you can understand, I thoroughly like my bourbon, right? So I know it's a good bourbon. I probably wouldn't use this normally for any random day of making mixed drinks, but since we're going to be drinking it, we're going to try a little bit better bourbon. So let's get down to it. For this one, we are going to switch to a rock glass, okay? We are going to fill that up with sugar. I think we all know by now from last episode, I really don't like sugar, so I'm going to use this unnamed sweetener, okay? Don't catch a glimpse of that, okay, folks? But we have an unnamed sweetener. Again, normally you muddle it with the water. We're going to take that water, put it right in there. Since it's powdered already, we're just going to give it a quick swish with our stir sticks. 2 dashes of Angostura. Let me make sure my ice is loosened up a bit. Put my stir sticks back in there, and then a jigger of the Smokehouse Bourbon, which is just delightful. Insert your own favorite bourbon here. I'm gonna give that a stir. There was certain recipes I had found that suggested the maraschino cherry, but for this case, it's just gonna be an orange peel. So there you have it. To Brenda, cheers. To everyone else that enjoys a good bourbon or a old-fashioned, enjoy. Here's my bar story, right? I decided to ask everyone if they want to go out to dinner together. My mom, dad, my brother Danny, sister-in-law Jessica, right? So I said, hey, let's go out to dinner. Let's go to Petey's. We haven't been to Petey's Bungalow in a while. Fantastic. It's got the classic supper club feel to it. Really nice, right? We go there. It's kind of packed, it's a smaller place. I was standing by the bar, and the bartender says, what you want? Well, I'm waiting for my old man. Obviously, meaning my dad. I'm waiting for him. I tried to do a wave. But that bartender spun around so quickly, he came back with my sister-in-law's Miller Lite, and he brought me back old-fashioned, right? Apparently, if you call out an old man in the bar, at least in Petey's Bungalow, you're going to get an old-fashioned. I enjoyed it, but I didn't really know if it was an old-fashioned or a Manhattan, so maybe made a mix and call it the old man. But regardless, when I asked for the drink later, I didn't know how to address it because I didn't want to sound silly calling it an old man or calling the wrong drink out old-fashioned. So I told the waitress, can you go back and tell the bartender to give me another one of the drinks he poured me? So that's my bar story.